He said this: "I'm loving Italy. It's changed my career around, the club as well. Milan's been so enjoyable. The fans, the stadium. I've never seen anything like it." Christian Pulisic, thriving in Italy. Thriving. Charlie, we've touched on this before, but what is it about Serie A that suits Christian's playing style so well?
I think in terms of the mentality across the league, which I think Serie A has always been known for, the structure, defensive structure, the way that they're organized, but it's not so fast-paced. It's not just up and down, relentless transition like we see in England. I think he's been able to settle in because, one, of his experience, but he's so composed. And he got the trust of the manager for the first time that you could see. Pioli said, "You're my guy, I'm gonna play you and give you the opportunity to succeed." And once he felt that confidence and was able to shine, the rest of the team also got behind him, and you could see that, oh, Pulisic is one of our better players. And now he is the best player. He's playing as the best player at Milan. He's playing as if everything depends on him. Everything should go through him in the attacking third. And we never thought that with Rafa Leao there, given that he was one of the I'd say benchmark players when it comes to anything in the attacking third when they won the Serie A, when they won the Scudetto. So you have to love what you've seen from Christian Pulisic on both sides of the ball, because how can you not back him when he's putting in the performance that he did last season with Pioli, especially defensively, when he would track all the way back, he would allow players to venture forward because of his commitment to the team. And now we're seeing just how gifted he is. I mean, this scoring in the Derby della Madonnina is just sensational. I mean, that's what you want from your star players, showing up in the big moments and
scoring in Champions League.
Yeah, was it the goal against Liverpool that was similar, where he just kind of took it himself midfield,
it was a great
ran
goal.
it up, scored? Yeah. Seeing that decisiveness from him, that decision to say, like, no, I'm going to do this on my own, was something that I didn't see when he was at Chelsea. Maybe after his first season, where it kind of felt like he went into a shell. How much would you say it's his confidence and his ability to be like, no, I'm going to show you I'm that player that everyone thought I was, versus the sport has slowed down a little bit more because it's in Serie A versus Premier League?
I think it's a combination of both.
Where would you put that scale?
And that he's grown as a player. He's matured as well.
Remember, he was getting injured a lot.
Yeah,
right?
True.
And obviously the schedule was crazy, more crazy in England.
And he's had a new manager every season, basically.
But if I was going to put the scale, I think I'd shade it towards more of the league itself. It's a little bit more slow-paced than it is in England. And that's, with all the respect in the world for Serie A and the teams, that it's just a more calculated football. It's not just go crazy and collide and crash. It's I think more teams are built on a defensive structure, and they're patient, and it makes it a little bit harder to break down defenses. But at the same time, if you're gifted on the ball, like we see with Christian Pulisic, with the experience that he's had in international with the U.S. men's national team, and then playing in Germany and England, I think it's all prepared him for this moment.
Yeah, I want to ask you something that I spoke to Matteo when he was in last week, and I asked him because you said it, Christian Pulisic is their best player right now. And I asked him if this Milan team, if this could ever be Christian's team, like he could be the guy, and he pushed back.
I would agree.
And said no. Why could this not be Christian Pulisic's team?
If we're thinking of a successful Milan, a top 4 finish, it's unbelievable that he's carrying the weight that he's carrying right now. But it's not sustainable.
Why is it not sustainable?
Because if everyone else is playing like crap, because they are, Leao's not playing well, Morata's not scoring as you'd expect, Tammy Abraham isn't that good.
Christian's fault?
Are you suggesting that he's only playing well because everyone's playing badly?
I didn't say that was Christian's fault.
Are you also suggesting that if everyone plays well, that he's not going to stand out?
I'm not. If you'd let me finish, I can get to my point.
He's tied for the most goal contributions in the league.
I agree.
Since January.
The thing is that if everybody else steps it up, his role isn't going to be as strong on paper. In games, more people are going to get spotlight. it's not going to be Christian's team because Rafa Leao is going to be playing really well. If the case is that Milan is fighting for the championship, I don't think his role is going to be diminished.
Can you quantify what you mean by his team? Is it that he doesn't have the personality to be the leader?
No, because I think he does have the personality to be one of the most important players on this. He's shown it through 8 games. I have no doubt about that. Leader on this team, I have no doubt about that. The main guy for the last couple of seasons, whose team has it been over the last couple of seasons? Leao's team, right? There's times that Leao hasn't stepped up to the plate and Milan haven't done well, right?
Yeah, but he's had more shaky moments than strong moments.
Than strong moments. Was it his?
Because he won a Scudetto. Because he won a Scudetto with Milan.
So if he does that, being the best player on the team, it's not his team?
Then yes, but I think that would be a very welcome surprise. If they win the Scudetto and Christian is by far the better player than everybody else on the team, that it's like, that is a welcome surprise.
Would you not say that is the case now?
I think everybody needs to step up and contribute significantly more.
Is it an indictment on this AC Milan team that Christian Pulisic is their best player right now?
It's a tricky question. I don't want to say yes because I don't want to take any credit away from Christian because I don't think that conversation deserves to even be argued here on this desk because there's so much merit in what he's doing.
I think we have to look back at what everybody asked of Christian Pulisic. He has answered every one of those questions.
Okay, again,
everything we've asked him to do. Hold on. Everything we've asked him to do, moving on from the debacle that was Chelsea, and for the sake of the men's national team, everything we asked of him to do at the club form, he has done and excelled. So the question becoming, can it be his team? It's his team right now.
It can. It is his team right now, and he has to carry. But this team won't win anything if it's only him. Is what I'm trying to get at.
But to Nico's point, if it is his team, then we wouldn't have seen what we saw with the penalty kick situation. We wouldn't have seen players say, you know what? I know he's a designated penalty taker, but I'm taking it.
Right, and that's where I asked the question regarding his personality as a leader. Because although you say he undoubtedly has it, I'm not sure he has that. That's the one thing he has left to prove to me, based on what I saw happen in that penalty kick situation.
We haven't had another instance.
Can you be the guy who's like, I'm the guy?
But we haven't had another instance since that moment, right? Because that was the last game that they played, and then they went on an international break. So moving on from here, how does Milan grow beyond that? Yes, they can project Pulisic as one of their main guys. If you think of Milan, you have to be thinking of a Christian Pulisic looking into the camera, right?
Yeah.
But for them to be successful, it can be his team, but if they don't win anything, he's going to be remembered almost in the history of Milan anecdotally.
100%.
He needs to be accompanied by a lot.
And you're saying in order for them to win the Scudetto, they need everyone else to outperform what they're performing now. And if that's the case, he's not that guy because everyone else is performing
correct. But on top of that, yes, Morata, Leao, they all, Loftus-Cheek, they all have to take a step forward.
Yeah.
But so can Christian.
Yeah, exactly.
Of course.
So to your point, Suze, I think that Christian Pulisic can be that guy. I've always said he has world class in him. He has it in him. There's a lot of players that you don't even sniff world class. Christian has it in him.
If he wasn't American, would we be having this conversation?
Yeah, I think we'd still have. We'd still have this conversation. We would absolutely still have this conversation.
I just wonder how much that holds him back in terms of the narrative around him.
Well, there definitely was a narrative heading to Milan. Oh, we only have to talk about him because he's American.
Yeah.
Right? Oh, we have to talk about an American again. Well, now he's the best player at one of the biggest clubs in the world. So it's absolutely the right thing to talk about him because he's actually pulling his weight. Yeah. When you score against Inter and the way that he did, that is what we're talking about. That's the type of performance that warrants a conversation around him, regardless of what nationality is. You throw in the fact that he's American, of course we're going to talk about him. He's the best player and he's performing in one of the biggest clubs in one of the biggest leagues in the world. Hell yeah. But is he done? Has he plateaued? No. And we've all seen that. And part of the penalty fiasco is him learning, okay, I am the best player on the team right now. I'm performing the best. I didn't know how to handle that situation because Rafa Leao has been here before. He's won a Scudetto, to your point. But now if that situation happens again, I know how to handle it.
And back to your point, because again, I don't want to be misinterpreted people might think I'm saying, oh, Christian's not that guy. There's other guys that are alphas, right? If Milan is going to go on to win the Scudetto with Christian, playing the way that he is, and everybody else stepping up, Christian is going to be remembered as one of the guys of that team. Don't get me wrong. If he keeps on putting up these numbers and keeps on contributing at this rate, in the big moments, like in the Derby della Madonnina, like in the Champions League, and he will be remembered as not a role player, as one of the guys, right? We talked about it when he got transferred over into Serie A from Chelsea. They didn't bring him to be a role player. They brought him to be the guy, right? Alongside Leao, now alongside Morata because of all of his European pedigree, right? Alongside the big guns. He is a big gun. And it's refreshing to see. That's why I say it's welcome. If he ends up being the top goal scorer in Milan and ends up winning the Scudetto, like, standing ovation. That is, we didn't have that expectation set. That is exceeding and beyond what we thought Christian could. That is being the top goal scorer of the team that wins the freaking Serie A. That would be unbelievable.
He's already doing what no one thought he could do, reach the levels that no one really thought he could reach at this stage. So I think from that standpoint, as a U.S. men's national team player, that's incredible.
Yeah.
I don't think anyone had that on their bingo card of an American being the star at AC Milan, right? And looking at it from that perspective, you say, job well done. But can they win something?
Win. If an American won it, being one of the best players, like unarguable on the podium of a Scudetto winning team, that is, I'm salivating at the mouth for that opportunity, right?
Same.
And he has that opportunity.
But we also know the pressure on his shoulders, right, that he's carrying with him as an American.
Right, but he likes that.
Yeah, he does. And now it's, okay, he's doing it. Everyone else has to follow suit. And if you're going to play at a big club, you better be playing, right? That's I think for Pochettino, he goes, case in point, Americans can play at big clubs, but you better be playing. And not only playing well. That's the standard.
That is the standard. Yeah, he certainly set the standard.